Hey, it's Tabby, aka Octavia, ringing the bell for a true smile. Get some cleansing energy in here. Cleanse the timeline, cleanse the energy, cleanse away any sorcery, evil eye, juju, negative talk, gossip, spell work, word magic. People who hate and can't relate. Whatever. Anyway, I just thought about something. Brown eyes. Says charming chat, inspiring news. It's like a love text message or something. I don't know where I'm going with this, y'all. I just thought about something. Then it says, pity the fools who mocks the queen's grace. Okay. And then we've got, these two came out at the same time. Breaking the mirage, clearing the fog and the mist, and then heavy tidings. Signal of unease, a grim message. So we went from a charming chat message to bad news. Okay, so maybe there was a false image or a false message being mirrored. Okay, with regards to some type of heavy burdens, grief, sorrow. And then I asked about and then I heard the name or the word, the action, Sue. And these two cards fell out. I thought it was just one, and it said journey and a voyage. And then it was this. I didn't even, wow, excuse me, I had to burp. I didn't know this card was behind here. And it says chaos, sorrow, madness, falsehood, agony, struggle. Just bear with me because I feel like this might be a little heavy or difficult of message here because these came out together. So it's like a journey and a voyage, and it looks like it's planetary or astrologically for this word Sue. And then I got, as you sow, so shall you reap, which has to do with these two cards here. As you sow, so shall you reap. And then I couldn't pick up on any other messages or clues. So I still don't know if that Sue is a name or if the Sue is, it's like, because you have brown eyes, military brown eyes was the thought, the channeled message. And I got charming chat, inspiring news. So text messages, maybe even emails with that envelope there. Electronic messages. Oh, okay. Electronic messages. That includes what? Telegram, WhatsApp, any type of messaging service, and even those phone apps. They do phone calls and text messages. Okay, let's see. Spirit, tell me the channel. Oh, wow, I didn't even get them. Okay, help. This person's hands are tied. This is a love bomb. Seeking help. Support hovers close and aid comes from unlikely places. So, this person's hands are tied. Or this person is requesting help. Or someone is requesting help from the brown-eyed person. Or calling themselves now including the brown-eyed person. The military brown eyes. Remember, that's the channel message. Meaning on your ID, military, you chose, on your military ID, you chose brown eyes. Okay? Help. Break to build. Here's the story. You see the story? Here's the story of a woman who had brown eyes on her military ID card. That's what I'm picking up. That's the energy. So they thought it best to break someone to rebuild them into the character or the entity, energy that they wanted them to be. Adapt to the split and gain anti-fragile strength. So some type of abandonment here, some type of left behind energy. Break to build. So, that's military strategy. Once you join the military army branch, they tear you down to build you back up again. That's their process. So if you think that you're joining the military because you're going to have them pay for your schooling or give you money for a house, know that they're going to tear you down. And all that you bring with your creativity and your mind and your knowledge and awareness and all of the assets that you have built and founded by these institutions that you've attended in this great country, or that's what we believe it to be, so-called great country. They tear it down and wipe it out and make you think you don't need it. And then they put you in the matrix. With truth or illusion, they put forth something up front of your eyes, in your mind's eye, in your third eye, in your alternate dimensions other than the one that we live in, and the ones that you may roam into through social media or through your dimensional travel in your mind while you're sleeping, while you're at rest, while you're meditating, while you're conjuring, whatever it is that you do, ayahuasca, smoking weed, okay? Taking pills, Spirit says. A comfortable lie persists, but a painful truth emerges. Opt for enlightenment and leave illusions behind. Question is, what I've gathered today, my understanding and belief is, which is the true pill color to take to exit the matrix? Which one? Do you know? Are you aware? Because that's part of the story as well. Okay? Breaking the mirage. So that's how you break the mirage of materialism, the consumerism. They give you access to money, to credit card. Our whole country is built upon that. You have to have a credit history to rent a car, to buy a home, to rent an apartment. Your credit has to be built, okay? Focus on material wealth and neglects true happiness. Unending desire for more and more satisfaction. Satisfaction is elusive. So this person is never satisfied. That's the illusion that needs to be broken. Never satisfied. Okay, I got the best clothes. I got the high-end vehicle. I've got the sophisticated life. That's just the word I choose. I don't know. You know what I mean? People keep up with me. I am the Joneses type energy. Keeping up with the Joneses, not the damn Kardashians, okay? They ain't keeping up with nothing but black folk or stealing black people's culture. Just like Cardi B said, Spanish people have black people to thank for their comfortability. She fucking know, because she is a thief, another spiritual thief. Kim Kardashian and her whole family, especially her mama. And I said what the hell I said, okay? I said what I said. They ain't nothing but spiritual thieves, copycats. What this black girl do? Okay, give it to me. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be rich and famous. Same with Cardi B. Because all they do is just take. The black girl or the black man reaches the peak spiritually because they've gone through the tests, they've succeeded, they've been gifted and awarded, and then in walks the fair skin, whatever, white, Hispanic, Latino, foreigner, just as long as they ain't this complexion or browner. And they take it and remove it from the black person as if They didn't earn it, as if they didn't receive it, as if it wasn't theirs. It's something that I learned about while going to a military church. They don't want me to talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it. Oh, you sowed some seeds in a place where you'll never be able to bask in and enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's the bull, SHIT, that they were teaching at the military church that I went to. Anything and everything that I put my hand on or touch or help to build and create to keep a solid foundation, meaning the activities that I joined in and that I led, because I was a church leader in more than one group within that church. And I also participated in activities for myself as a church member. And they didn't want me to be able to have any of it. They were just giving it to other people. Oh, F her. She didn't do nothing. Oh, give it to this person. Give it to that person with their fake computer technology spiritual gifts. And I cracked up laughing. I didn't ask them to do something for me. And as soon as I acted differently or indifferently to how they wanted me to behave, then they invaded my dream space and took it away. And I said, okay, I don't care. I didn't ask them to give me no fake technology spiritual gifts or no fake technology spiritual access to the church matrix or whatever it was. I didn't ask them for that. They took it upon themselves to, okay, she could have this gift from me and this gift from this other woman. You know, the ministers' wives were giving me gifts after talking to and speaking to different men in authority and positions of power while at the church and giving me different things, assuming that I needed their help to do something, not knowing that I'm already spiritually gifted. I always have been my whole life. And this is why I don't want to interact with anyone. I do something in the daytime, in the nighttime, and I'm talking about real life. The next thing I know, they faking what I've done and dreamed up and created with my miraculous self, with my making the impossible possible, with my golden touch, with my very fruitful tree. They recreated into some fake ass technology. So this is what I'm picking up on with these messages. We've got heavy tidings. Now we got bad news coming from the telephone. Now it's rain. Now it's dark clouds. Okay? Heavy tidings. Superstition sign. Someone is superstitious. Seek clarity and dismiss unfounded worry. Somebody is causing themselves to worry out of superstition because they believe this is the way. Padawan. Hashtag if you know, you know. We got tower moment. Free falling. See the bomb? It's explosive. Compounding small failures and plunging into self-doubt abysses. Convert falling potential into upward bouncing. I always say failing. I swear to God, that's what this word should be. Failing potential. Yeah, someone has failed, because I always say failing and then correct myself to say falling because that's what the card says. But no, someone has failed at something. Someone has failed at learning the lesson, conquering a fear, removing past judgments or incorrect judgments or boundaries that don't exist. This is all in their minds. This is all in their emotions. This is all in how their upbringing. Somebody was raised to like, it's almost as if somebody grew up in a household where they were tortured or manhandled, I don't know, like beat the fuck up is what I want to say. Molested, spirit show me the word. If they did something or if they crossed the line where they had their own truth and individuality, then something negative or traumatic would happen to this person. And that's why we have this here. And this has unfortunately became the rules and the regulations of how things have been functioning and are operating. Instead, they choose to drink and be toxic and avoid healing inner wounds, thoughts, taking care of unresolved issues. Someone thinks that this is the way. Someone thinks that, or someone has, I heard for a long time, someone thinks that this is what you do. And I bet it has to do with money. Because this damn deck is staring at me. Let's see what we pick up. I haven't used this one in a minute. Uh-oh. Spirit, help me pick up on the energy of what's going on in this territory. Okay. A gift. You will discover new talents that will lead to new opportunities. Use opportunities that arise. So some type of gift came out of this. I heard torture that occurred in the past with regards to military brown eyes. Okay, what about this gift? This gift is, I heard, it says resources. Spirit said lack of resources. Spirit said lack of resources. Be grateful for what you have, but save something for the future. Yeah, because they put you in lack. They put you in lack. They didn't give you the knowledge and awareness that you needed to receive, but they made you fertile. Oh, you can go on and have 10 babies. Who cares? Just have kids. You don't have to work. Just stay barefoot and pregnant. That's what I'm picking up on. But see, what they fail to understand and what they fail to perceive, because I know this is coming down, handed down from men, is that if a woman is fertile, she's also fertile in the spirit. All right. And that's why God's believers, worshipers, and followers are so fruitful. They have fruitful natures. They can succeed no matter how many children they have. They can have a fulfilled and fruitful life. Partnership. That's what the gift was, is hand in hand, right? Or like two folks with their hands at an activity, the similar or a same activity. Joining forces with business partners for a win-win cooperation. Prioritize your connections. That's what they wanted you to do with your gifts. That I heard that's a plan. And who was it? So that they can stay in authority. Take on the role of a leader and everyone will respect you. Be self-confident. But it really was so that they could be in authority. Because they have not allowed Gen Xers to have this type of authority. Guess why? Look what's there. Authority, and at the top of the deck, closed doors. So something got shut down, not only for them being in authority of you, but they also stopped, blocked, erased, deleted the access that the Gen Xer with the military brown eyes, I heard, deserved to have with closed doors. No good job opportunities. The current job is coming to an end. Retirement, deceased, things happen. Yeah. And that, Spirit said that's what they wanted. What else, Spirit? Anything else? Surprise. This was for a surprise. I heard a military surprise on your job. As you succeed, they're going to pop up with this surprise. It's not a birthday cake, or is it? An unexpected turn can bring positive change. But it's only what they want to give you, what they choose to provide to you. Say you won $1 million, or say you earned $1 million spiritually. They only want to give you 1,000 to 100,000, Spirit said. Right. Only because you need to make it beyond the fog and the shade that they have been giving you spiritually to be deceitful in your life. I'm hearing Roman, Roman, and I'm hearing, wow, Okay, I'm hearing Roman, Roman, the name or the people, the culture. And I'm hearing roaming, Roaming, limitations, spiritual limitations because they're thieves. Notice no cards have come out here with regards to money. This is the money moves deck. They had no intention of providing. They had no intention of giving you anything. They had no intention of you making it, as far as income. They just wanted you to always be in the, okay, spend your money, make money, spend your money, make money, spend your money, make money, spend your money. But then they didn't even want you to make money, right? Because what happened? What happened? Closed doors. Maybe you furthered your education. Maybe you were up for a promotion, you didn't get it. Maybe they wanted you to apply for a certain job, you didn't apply for it. You didn't think you qualified, but all of the jobs that you qualified for, you applied for, and this is what they did too. They closed those doors so you wouldn't have access. They sent you a letter in the email or in the mail saying, sorry, we've chosen someone else, or we've closed out this job description, just to reopen it for so that they could recategorize the job so that you no longer truly qualify for the position, and they can give it to whom? Spirit said roaming. Spirit started all of a sudden showing me the words again. Roaming, Roaming, Roman, Roman. They didn't want you to have it. They didn't want you to succeed ever. That was the plan. That was the plot, to limit you so that you could be a trapped bird in a cage. And then they made that foolish ass film called Birdcage with two straight men pretending to be gay, homosexual, in love, and they labeled it Birdcage. Fear and doubt limit freedom of action. This is not how you think, this is how they think. But they were projecting and enforcing this onto you, or wanting to still, with limitations, because they see you as less than them. And they don't want me to say that. When I start choking on my spit during a message, that's when I know they don't want me to speak those words. We got endings here. Endings to all of this. I heard hauntings. Haunting's. Yeah, they mad. They mad because they knew and they know now that you are the source. And they limited you. They blocked you. You are the source. You were the higher connection. You are the person that they wanted and that they needed the help to complete the job, or to, I'm hearing spiritual romance. You were the one. You were the one that was provided, that was sent down from above, or sent here to succeed in that, because that's what they wanted. Remember, it began with charming chat, inspiring news. That's what the hell they wanted, and they blocked you, and they limited you, and they projected onto you, okay? And they labeled you as gay, and they closed your doors so you had no opportunities, and they gave it to other people with the word roaming, okay? And they decided that you were only good enough to have children. Oh, give her baby bearing hips. And some men too. Spirit said that's over with. The cycle is over. It's time for you to make a change, a rebirth here. It's time to say goodbye to these people. A new direction, because you're healthy with wellness here. And these folks was two-faced. Two-faced, never had your back, never wanted to include you, never. Didn't have any thoughts, ideas, or desires for you at all, probably since birth. And I don't believe it's just Gen Xers. I believe it just has to do with the way that they function, the way that they think, their ideal sets, their minds, the people that they put into authority. Some of these people shouldn't have these jobs. Imagine giving someone who's unhealed AF access to the button for the atomic bomb, and access to ruining or having control or thoughts or creating some type of plan for the future for the children that go to school. And this person has been molested, raped their whole childhood. to the point where now that's how they operate from a traumatic brain, from a traumatic mind. And as I did that, I split the deck and I saw human life, right? Go headed to the brain. Look, 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 the brain. That's how they get you. The brain. Not Pinky and the brain. They ruin these folks' minds with the brain to make them angry, insecure. Spirit said that's the truth. That's one sword of truth here. They affect their truth and their heart, which they ruin by bothering their mind. Their mind, their brain. Do you see it? It's not about an animal. It's about the brain. And then these folks wandered into positions because they had a friend of a friend of a friend, or because they were the right complexion. You know, they weren't black. They weren't African American. You know, black people went through a time where, right before COVID, where if you check the box black as your ethnicity on the application, say you were trying to be seen by a doctor or something, the white people would go, ooh. Well, then what the F am I, woman? You don't have African American on here. I'm not a other. But they acted like, or they behaved as though black is whack, black is wrong. But now, you notice this reading was about brown. The deceit, the lies, the foolish behavior. They're being called out for this. And I want to clarify this as much as I can. And I know when they mad at me, because that's when they start stick pin attacking me. The stick pin attacks start happening. You know, my neighbors start banging on the walls and stuff from room to room. One room banging on the wall, the next room banging on the wall. The shower will be running, you know, all of these sorts of things. Because they're included, but you're not. And it's like any and every reason for them not to include you. Because you realize as a small child, even though this was a grown man, committed fraud and identity theft in a fake matrix spiritual realm that he created and made it yellow. He knows good and darn well that he made that, but he keeps trying to pretend that it's real. He keeps trying to pretend that it's a clue, Spirit says, and it's not. It's not a clue. I don't care how many films are Clueless and all of these other things that's black and yellow and Beetle, you know, what was his name? I see him in the Transformer, the yellow car. Spirit said, yeah, that's the truth. That's what they're doing in the dark with the sun. They're being exposed. They're being called out. And I'm one of the people and the persons that's calling them out. They're mad. So now anything and everything that I did my whole entire life, he labeled and created as wrong, as incomplete, as inconclusive, as detrimental or devastating to the United States, to society. When I was the truth and he was the lie. Like claiming that I didn't have no love, that I wasn't the Queen of Cups, that I'm not the Queen of Cups, with the Queen of Cups in reverse here. And that's also possibly who this masculine has been pretending to be. A Queen of Cups in some type of upside down alternate universe or realm with a Page of Wands. It wanted to come out here, a Page of Wands chariot. So a sleeping car, a Page of Wands car. A page is a youth. And a car is a car person. When it comes to this deck, remember, I've already clarified the meanings to their detriment. But this is how they make the energy of the cards in this deck. And I read the energy of the tarot. That's why I picked this one. To have many people with Monopoly. Remember, this is based off of Monopoly. Come against one person so that they can have success. And they're the ones that's chained to the devil. They're the ones that's changed to the devil. I heard confusion. This masculine really truly believes that he is me. We got a Knight of Swords here. So we got a Knight of Swords that's also chained to the devil. We've got a Knight of Swords. We've got a Queen of Cups in reverse. They're being exposed. These people are also being exposed as being the damn devil. Toxic, trauma bonding, torturer, molesters. Yeah, Spirit said, yeah, so that you can wait to have better things ahead. But look who's at the bottom of the deck. Judgment. And yes, I do look at the bottom of the deck so that I can see what is to clarify the card, because how the cards come out in order matters, but also the energy of the deck. I read the energy of the deck. It's not all the time that I look or am aware of the card that's at the bottom and or the top of the deck or splitting the deck on something, but we got Judgment. I kid y'all not. And I split the deck and we got Judgment for all of these things that they keep trying to continue to hide with the moon. With this moon energy or moon magic, or, even NASA are traveling to the damn moon, trying to backstab, betray, and unalive folk. Okay? With this 10 of Swords, have caused heavy burdens on people, but then not pay them. No, you're not worth $50,000. You're not worth that. You're not worth this, and that. You're not worth that. Why not? Because I put military brown eyes. I put brown eyes on my military ID, or because I called out this man that invaded my dream space while I was playing outside in my dreams. Okay, at night catching daggone butterflies and lightning bugs and playing with my little cousins. This was in my dream state, and he just walked up with some white lady. And number one, no white men lived in that neighborhood. Number one, you don't belong here. Number two, ain't no way you and this white lady just gonna walk up into our gate, and I ain't ever seen you in my neighborhood, let alone in my household gate, the gate that you have to open and enter to come into the home where I stay at with my father. No, you're a lie. Everything he said, all of those words he spoke upon me, that was word magic wizardry. He was most likely a goddamn racist and a fraud, Spirit says. A fraud. Just a traumatized child in a man's body. Spirit said the moon again. They keep trying to hide all of this stuff so that they can have money. Starting in Stable Avenue and the Wheel of Fortune. This is the dark Wheel of Fortune. This is how they make money at night. They don't want you to exist. Oh no, that you don't exist. But they do. Boom. Boom. Hold up. What's on the other half of the deck? Boom. How they make money. Notice, this was the card that came out before it. Representation of when they do it, how they do it. They're making money by doing this, and there is the clarity. And this is what they've been stealing. And I'm aware of it. This is whom they've been using to invade, interfere, or claim that they are me when it's not. That's whom they've been given to when they were supposed to be given to me. They keep trying to balance that situation, knowing full and darn well that they left me in this energy without a piece to the Scrabble game, let alone it be upside down. It ain't upside down. They didn't even give me a piece to the Scrabble game. And I can spell better than all of these witches and warlocks and baby witches and whores and thoughts and hoe and 304s and and all of these other labels of these pick-me's and third parties that they have. Because that's really truly what it's about. That's really truly what it's about. It's about damn grammar. It's about school, English, spelling, words. Words. Yes. Happily fulfilled place. Pentacles represent yes. Yes. Two of Pentacles. You bring balance. I bring balance. I am well aware. Spirit says I'm a wizard. When it comes to this, I make people happy. 10 of Cups with the family. The truth. So a hermit's been watching it. The high priestess. A hermit's been pretending to be the empress, or caused me to become the empress by trying to cause confusion and chaos and conflict with those two, with that truth and illusion that came out earlier. Remember? Yeah. Because that hermit person, that hermit energy, they know their place in the story. They know their place in the game, I should say. They're well aware of the fact that how they maintain control is about how and what they steal by causing this believe it or not type energy, causing conflict through social media apps. You want to get back to the truth? That's what they're telling us. If you want to get back to the truth, if you want to wake up, you got to get rid of apps on your phone. You got to, not have any social media accounts, because they're going to continue to invade and try to keep folks in their matrix and in the false matrix, because all of these social media apps do provide some type of false matrix. And even your job, even your mega church, even your temple, although I've never been to one, but I assume if it's happening in a mega church, it's happening in the temples as well. Why you think the people don't go there until certain religious holidays? You think I'm kidding? They want access to it on those highly glamorized religious holidays. I just saw temperance energy, flowing energy in the tower moment. The moon. Some type of lunacy, some type of, and I've talked about this in my previous readings. These churches do some type of, or perform some type of moon magic or lunacy over their church members. Spirit is showing me the word glamour spells. It's glamour spells. It's like you going to church because you love God, but the whole time they looking at you as somebody to practice their magic on. Let's see if the practical witches deck helps us pick up on which magic they're doing. We already saw the moon. Okay. How many times? Twice. 3 times. What kind of spells they? Enchanted lips. What kind of spell? Love spells. They're doing love spells on people in the church. Before a special evening, employ a kiss of glamour. Wow. Another one, love spells. So 2 love spells came out back to back. What kind of spells they doing on people in the church? Altar spells, and they came out upside down reverse. Sit for a spell. They don't want you to sit. But when you go to church, what you got to do, you got to sit. You got to sit. This don't make no sense. Wow. Oh my God. You see the words? Didn't I say church? What kind of spells they doing in the church? It says on a Sunday. On a Sunday. Or any day you need encouragement, set aside a half hour of quiet time and brew up some willpower to help you in a creative endeavor. Why do Black people go to church? To help them make it spiritually and subconsciously through the work week, because they all got some kind of boss that's secretly or covertly racist or a narcissist or want to F them, but passive aggressive towards them and don't think that they deserve no money and really don't think that they deserve their job. Don't want to interact with them. Lunar healing spell. I told you, moon. Lunar libation for ambrosial brew with the power to calm any storm. What the fuck I say? What the fuck I say? Fuck I say? Moon spells. Soulmate spell. You see what it say? Moon spells. Soulmate spell. They are causing these churches, these mega temples, mega churches, mega temples, however else you go to church. I don't care if it's in a hotel conference room. I don't care if you're looking at it online. Podcast, you best believe I heard, okay, they're showing me the Joel Osteen events. Remember when Joel, or I don't know if he's still doing it or not. Remember when Joel Osteen was traveling everywhere doing the different events and stuff from state to state, from city to city? You can catch me. And yeah, that was before COVID. That was before COVID. Yeah. Yeah. Soulmate spell so that they could become part of your spiritual tribe. Invade your dream space or have access to your dream space. If you're seeking a soulmate, soulmates are not always someone that you're going to be intimate with. I will repeat that as needed. That's what I'm gonna say. If you're seeking a soulmate, because some people don't want to be alone, they don't want to be abandoned in their dream state. They don't want to sit and heal. They don't want to enter into the dark night of the soul and trigger a healing process within them, at their hearts, their spirit, their minds, physiology. Okay, you know why these people are in this dinosaurs? Because they haven't healed. They're triggered. They're wounded. It's like an abused animal. They're shaking and shivering because they're afraid of when a human approaches them. Why? Because a human used to beat the crap out of them, and they haven't forgot that. So now it doesn't matter which human approaches them. They have fear. And physiologically, you start to see it, and that's why they start to shake and then they whimper because they feel it's almost like emasculating a man. It's almost equivalent to that. You took away something from that. You took away their confidence. You took away their identity, and now you have the authority over me, which means that you can beat me. You can, I will do whatever you say, but as soon as I get the opportunity, I'm a flee. I'm a run. Uh-huh. Soulmate spell. If you're seeking a soulmate, this simple spell will do the trick. On the next new moon, take 2 pieces. Yeah, because I ain't reading a damn spell. What's at the top of the deck? Craziness. Moon spells. What's at the bottom of the deck? Everyday spells. What is it? A leaf. A leaf. A leaf. I'm gonna show y'all something. A leaf. Wow, what's at the top of the deck? Ashamed. A leaf. Yeah, they keep doing this. It is about a leaf. It was a green leaf and now it's a red leaf or something like that. Falling leaf charm. In medieval times, wise women of yore taught their children to look for falling leaves. To catch one in your hand before it hits the ground is the best kind of luck, direct from Mother Nature herself. Ashamed. Spirit said, closing this cycle. Closing this cycle. I guess I'm going to leave it there. You know, you could be mad at me for talking about churches, talking about temple. That's fine. I'm just spitting truth and facts and, spiritual awareness, and that's the problem. That's the problem. And I get that. I get that that is the problem. I totally understand that, someone could misconstrue my message and make it seem like, oh, she don't love God or she not into religion. She always talking about how they take her money. I'm poor. I was homeless for 2 years and 363 days. 2 days away from 3 years. But my spirit is so abundant, boundless, endless, minus the word less. Because God said He has given me anything and everything that I need to be whole and complete. I am never without. But human, decided to go against that for me in my life in America. Why? Did I commit a crime? No. Did I torture and abuse somebody? No. Was I rude and caused conflict on the job or in school or in my home? No. In my neighborhood? No. Once I bought a home, did I not contribute? Did I not pay my taxes? Did I not care for my home inside and outside, the front yard, the backyard? Did I not obey community rules and regulations, checking my mail, putting my trash in the proper places at the proper time on the proper date. And, I didn't own a pet, but, taking care of pet stuff outside it, that didn't apply. But I didn't do any of those things. So why me? Why me? What did I do? What did I do? It's not what I didn't do. It's what I did not do. I did not sleep with people to get my job or my position. I did not. I did not flirt with any man on my job in my neighborhood. I did not. Or woman. I did not. I did not bow down or bend the knee to the neighborhood bully, older Spanish woman. I did not. If she didn't want to include me, I didn't care. I didn't care. But you're not going to walk up on me and tell me I don't live here, I don't own my house, because you have a racist, old, cold, cruel heart. That's who that woman really and truly was. She was an old, cruel, disobedient, Spirit said. Disobedient. Mean old woman. And it wasn't even that she was mean. She's just jealous hearted. And because she didn't have no damn heart. And when she got a job and she was working at one of the daycare in the community, and I put my kids in that community daycare, not knowing that she was there, I just needed to put my kids in daycare because I couldn't have them at home any longer. They had grew up. And so now I needed them to be somewhere before I went to work and after I came home from, when on my way home from work, for before and after school, basically care. And I found out she was working there. Did I tell them that she was mean, that she was cruel, that she used to yell and try to torment my kids when they played outside? I didn't even have them. So like, say my house was here and her house was here. I didn't have them go past the next house to just avoid hearing her mouth. I didn't want to hear her say shit. If my kids played on the little stretch in front of our house and in front of the neighbors' houses, I came outside and I cleaned the stuff up when I could. If it was something I needed to clean up. This woman had a problem with it. How dare you? How dare you? Now, do I know what she's talking about and why she mad? No. Because she didn't include me in what was happening in the household and in the community. So why would I know why she's mad? I know that my area way doesn't have any toys. I know that the crosswalk on the sidewalk in front of my home and the neighbor's homes that my kids played in front of doesn't have any more toys or trash or things of that nature. The ice cream truck come. I made sure all of that was cleaned up. What's she mad about? What's she mad about? But now she work at the daycare with kids. I said, oh, really? Everyone was like, oh my God, we have an employee that lives on your block. And like I said, this is a community that I lived in. This woman was just mad about anything and everything that she could be mad at me about. She spread rumors about me to every new neighbor that moved in. She had a neighbor that lived across the street put a camera on her house and aimed it at my house so that they could keep up some lie and rumors that they had made about me. Did I care? No. When she called me the N-word, did I report it to this place that she worked? No. Because she called me the N-word more than once. And even her son was like, come on, Mom, stop doing this, and took her in the house. And her son didn't live with her. He just came to visit her maybe twice, 3 times at the most. He didn't like his own mama. I was like, yo, the whole year that went by, her son ain't come by. I was like, oh, no, something wrong. I said, if her son don't like her, it's okay that I don't like her. So then they started paying attention to her and the things that she was doing on that job. And they saw her what? Letting the babies cry. Laughing because the babies started crying. Because they hurt themselves. They fell down. She would stand there and laugh at them. I'm talking about like from baby, like infant. They had her with the infants, babies, to the 2 and the 3-year-olds. This is the kind of crap that she used to do to them. Or that she did to them. And so then they fired her and they let her go. She comes to me. Oh, now I exist. Oh, now you need my help. I just looked at her. She was like, well, I just want to find out why they fired me. Why did they let me go? I said, I don't know. I said, they told me you worked here. I said, I just smiled and said, yes, that's my neighbor. She said, oh, you didn't tell them anything good about me? I said, no. I said, I don't think I know you like that. I don't know you well enough. I left it at that. That's the type of person that I used to be. Because if I have a conflict and issue with you, what good is it going to do me for me to go run and tell somebody else? Not a damn thing. That's not what I do. I've never been that person. But I'm going to speak up about all the bull SHIT that goes on around me now, because it's been going on incredibly too long, entirely too long, just so that they can steal and harass me because they think it's funny being mean to me. They think it's funny that I'm poor. While they live in $1 million mansions, but spiritually, and I heard ineffectively, spiritually and romantically, they have people believing that they live in a shelter or in the damn ghetto. They live in $1 million plus mansions, homes that cost over $1 million. And I'm not talking about $1 million as like today's present day market value. I'm talking about 2005 present, back to 2005, $1 million house back then, before the housing crash. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, they've been living like that for the longest time and thought it was okay to spiritually be mean, tamper with, lie on, pretend to be me because they have an tantrum. How dare you? Oh, you got the person that I used to monitor you in your neighborhood and report back to me on you. You got her fired from her job. No, I didn't. I never spoke anything about her. And when she and I was standing there, the lady who was her manager came in there and she asked the lady, "What are you doing here? You're not allowed to be here." And she said, "I came to pick up my check." She said, "Okay." And so then the lady said to me, because my last name was still Wright back then. She was like, "Mrs. Wright." She was like, "How can I help you?" And before I could say anything, that woman was like, "I want to know if she said anything to get me fired." And her manager looked her dead in her face and told her, "No, Mrs. Wright never had anything to say about you. I approached her several times and she never told me anything." And that's the God's honest truth. Because I look at life like this. If you screw me over, if you backstab me, if you betray me, if you do shit behind my back, if you lie and cheat and steal from me without my knowledge and awareness, and I never did a damn thing to you to begin with, you just think I'm dumb and stupid and you think it's entertaining, all of that shit comes back to you. What you put out, you get back. I don't care if it's 10 years later, 15 years later, 25 years later, 36 years later, 78 years later. What you put out, it comes back to you. So when Leonard Travis Ferris enters that nursing home or that hospice, I hope they leave him in his pile of shit. That's what I hope, right? But see, I know that he was within the federal government making the circumstances in the situational reports on if this happens and when this happens, and all of the programming to the nurses' minds and the LNs and the LP, whatever ends and the RNs and all, even the doctors, creating and manipulating the program for their mindsets. They're not going to give 2 cents about what he goes through, and he's going to suffer. It's already happening in his mind. Situational awareness gone. Never woke up. 80 plus years old. Never woke up. Decided to live in a program, a fantasy, too afraid to heal, wanting to relive a trauma. How do you go through something that's so excruciatingly painful and decide that, oh, well, I'm going to inflict that on anybody and everybody now to make them fear me, while I have a tantrum and go on homicidal rants, killing people spiritually in the dream state, in the false matrix that I helped make. Men in black. Oh, you have to be given a life. It has to be given to you. Lies. Nothing has to come from man to any child or even in the womb in this world or in this realm. That's what this man decided to make it and inflicted it upon Gen Xers and beyond. And now he can suffer. And the old lady, she died. She lost her job because she was sick. The lady told her several times, you missed how many days of work? She was like, but I'm sick and blah, 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 blah. She was like, okay, well, I need someone here. She lost her job because she was sick. Okay, you missed 16, 18 different days of work in a month. Only 30 to 31 days in a month. Okay, woman, you're ill. Take care of yourself. You can't work. But her son wouldn't even come. The one child that she had left living or whatever wouldn't even come to help her. How's she going to pay her mortgage? So the son paid off the house or was paying the mortgage and the woman was fine. She had all the neighbors taking her to the grocery store and all of that stuff and still leaving me out, right? Excluding me. When I got my government job, all of this shit started to come out. And what happened? That's when people who was already shady AF towards me on the job was like, no, she can't stay here. Because why? Because government and military secrets will come out. All of the bull crap that they have been doing to me for years for no reason. Never been arrested. Never been a juvenile. Not as an entrance being admitted there. Never. Never been admitted to a psych ward. But they had lied and said all of these different things about me and had it on papers. Forged documents, fake stuff. Had it on. Never. A good, honest, incorruptible, believing in God, trustworthy American that loved my country. When I tell you I love my country, to find out that they had backstabbed and betrayed me to this extent, and more shit just keep coming out year after year after calendar year after calendar year. They fucking hate people. They don't give a damn if you care about the country. Not if you're a black woman. They don't give a shit about you unless you fucking them, sucking on them, or giving them something that they want. That's what they have intrusively, right, made me believe. Because that's what they made me see. That's what they wanted. That's how they see me. .com. All of the clones, frauds, the doppelgangers, the pick-me's, the military people that they allow to make up program and code of you and then enter the matrix as you, as if you don't exist. And then they coming into your house poisoning you or following you to different restaurants while you out just trying to live your life and not even think about what they're doing to you. And they have the waiters and the waitresses poison your food. And that they come over and bring you your plate and they so scared they handshaking and they drop the plate on the table. And then 2-3 tables over, they're cracking up laughing. Why? Because they paid them to poison me, to lace my food. And I'm still here. They didn't kill me. Get your money back. I'm still here. And guess what? My digestive system still works. And they dying from anal cancer and lung cancer, Spirit said. Situational awareness, they don't have it. And on 420,